Hey everybody, my name is Prevatitude. I'm the events admin and a shoutcaster for DotaCash.com. This week we are beginning the preliminaries for the DotaCash Team League. One of the special things that we wanted to do in conjunction with the Team League was interviews with teams and players specifically playing or participating in the Team League. So today I am joined with Luminous of DotaCommentaries.com. Go ahead and introduce yourself, Luminous.
Woo! I am Luminous. I am 23 years old. I'm casting for DotAcommentaries.com. I started casting maybe 2 years from now, and everything just kind of snowballed from there. We have excellent casters. So if you're enjoying to watch some Dota commentaries, you know where to find us, www.dotacommentaries.com.
Well, there you go. Now we know a little more about the player behind the name. So I want to go back to where it all started. How did you actually get into Dota?
It was college freshman. No one was doing anything because I went to school at Stockton, and then we had nothing to do, like nothing. So gaming was kind of the thing. Every Friday everyone left their doors open. It was very social, and one of the best, kind of a hallway challenge kind of game is you play Dota, and I sucked at it, but everyone got me into it, and we all played, and that was where it started. Very fun.
Interesting. That actually would be pretty fun, having to like a whole dorm or something playing with you.
Exactly, exactly.
That is really awesome. Well, you're probably a good player now. You might not have been back then, but I know your team signed up for the Dota Cash Team League and the qualifier tournaments. So who's on your team roster, and how often do you guys actually practice?
Our roster changes depending who's online, who's not online. We have about 7 or 8 guys. The main players are myself, Trace, Nebula, and Pavjo. So shout out to these 3 guys. And our other 3 or 4 come in and out, whenever they have time. It's interesting to point out that one of our players is actually very old. Well, that makes it sound bad, but he's 30 something. He's married, has a family. So even though there's, guys with families out there, they still enjoy games. And I just want to point that out. Shout out to, I think his tag is Little Bad Girl, which is like completely doesn't say who he is. But yeah, shout out to Little Bad Girl for still having a family, but still take time out to play with us and practice with us.
It's awesome that he can balance his priorities, and it's actually kind of funny that you mentioned that because we have a guy who plays with his dad on a team in like all of our tournaments. His dad's like 50 some odd years old, and he like easily accepts that he's like the worst team ever. But him and his dad have a good time, and they actually have like fairly decent players that play with them, even though they have an older guy playing with them. So that's pretty funny.
Cool. I think that's cool.
Well, when your team's going into a game, do you guys have a general idea of heroes you would like to pick, or do you wing it entirely based on picks and bans, or even the team you're against?
We don't have anything in mind. It's like we have 3 or 4 guys in vent and be like, hey, who wants to pick this game? And someone says I do, and then we just let him roll with it. So sometimes we have the most obscure strats. Sometimes we play very standard. But I think it keeps things fun. Like, we're not really here to, play legit Chinese Dota all, day in and day out. We just want to have fun and kind of retain the fun aspect of Dota. So that's kind of what we're doing. So we play whatever, we pick whatever. We don't really prepare, and we just kind of roll with it.
Well, I think that's good. It's good to go into the game and just have fun with it and not like be super serious. Because I know there are like some teams who play in our tournaments who are like that. They do like super serious bans and picks, and so it's cool to know that there are teams coming into this just to have fun. But out of the teams you have played so far, who do you feel is your biggest competition?
I don't know their team name, but
Mm-hmm.
we do play because Dota Commentaries does have our own TeamSpeak server. We play in-house very frequently, so it is one of those one of the team that came from our TeamSpeak server. Some of the players delayed mine in post. We play with them and Dragon Knight, so shout out to them. We play with them semi-regularly, and we had a little bit of trouble against them in the first match. But aside from that, I think we're in pretty good shape. I think our skill levels are decent. So I think we're okay.
Well, that's excellent. We're definitely looking forward to seeing you guys play more in the future and how you fare against these other teams. Well, tell us about your passion for Dota. What gives you the strength to put so much time and energy into commentating?
I don't know if I want to call it strength. It's kind of started out when like I had nothing to do, and actually I wanted to be a teacher in the future, but at the time of my decision, I wasn't a very comfortable speaker. I wasn't a very good speaker. I stutter a lot. I think I still do. But I was like, you know what? I enjoy commentating. I enjoy talking. I nonstop talk. So I personally gave myself a choice. I want to do either Dota commentary or Pokemon commentary. Pokemon as in game. Hey, don't laugh. Hey,
No, that's
that's
awesome.
serious stuff. So
That's
anyway,
awesome.
either Pokemon or Dota commentary. But at that time, Pokemon commentary was quite I guess, a popular thing, and I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna do the mainstream. I'm gonna do the Dota. And on that time, I think YouTube had like no Dota commentators. So I was like, hey, let's just run with it. I sucked really badly, and I still suck kind of badly now. But I think there has been some improvements. It's been a very fun ride. And after a while, it's not even it's not even an obligation. It's just I enjoy doing this. I have fans supporting me. I have dedicated viewers that come watching my commentary every time. So it's not just for me anymore. It's just for a community, and I find that very motivating, and I really love that.
Well, it's good. You definitely have to have the passion for it. We've seen many shoutcasters who have kind of came in and out of the Dota scene just because it's something that's hard to keep up with if you don't really have that passion. And I find it funny that you wanted to be a teacher because that's like exactly what you're doing. I mean, your commentaries are teaching Dota players, so I mean, it goes hand in hand. And I'm sure casting Dota games is going to be a lot more fun than sitting in a classroom teaching kids.
Hey, you know what? In my commentaries, I have to say all you have to do is listen, and I'm gonna tell the same things to my kids when I'm in that class. All you gotta do is listen. Just follow my directions, and you learn this stuff.
Well, you do most of your commentaries alone, but every once in a while you do cast with a dual commentator. So do you think it's easier to commentate alone, or is having a co-caster like taking half the load off you?
I definitely think it's a lot more fun and a lot easier to cast with someone else, but only if you know that person good enough. You know what I'm saying? One of my good friends, Nebula, he casts with me, used to cast with me a lot, so we had a good chemistry going, and a lot of fans enjoy it. Currently, I'm casting with a professional player. His name is 715, play for DCCom, our professional team. So, and I'm building a quite good relationship with him as well. So I actually enjoy dual casting a lot, because sometimes when you're going through a 70-minute game and you're trying to do it by yourself, your throat gets a little bit sore. As a caster, you kind of know what I'm saying there.
Yes.
So yeah, so I think I definitely enjoy dual casting a lot more, and I think I'm actually looking into shout casting in general. I personally think shoutcasting is a lot more honorable as a job because you gotta wait for the team, you gotta be live and ready. Whereas when I mess up a commentary, it's like, hey, delete and go next. So I'm looking into shoutcasting in the future. Let's see where that takes me. I don't know.
Well, that's awesome. I mean, as you know, we did invite you to shoutcast with us for our live tournaments. So the games that you're not playing, we definitely do want you to do some co-cast with us, since I know you can't stream, but you can stream with one of us who can handle that on our computers. So I'm definitely looking forward to that.
Sounds good.